listening to the Latter-day Ladypreneur podcast with Sarah Allred. I am on a mission to shed light on members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints who are real-life entrepreneurs doing big things within the world of business. Dive into a dynamic mix of interviews with brilliant guests who have tackled both failure and success, as well as solo episodes with me about the business lessons that are transforming my world day by day. Actionable business tips combined with some sweet connections between business, Nephi, Esther, and all your other scriptural heroes will keep you motivated and moving forward in this unique endeavor you feel called to do. I'm thrilled to have you as a fellow member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, mother, and entrepreneur. You are not alone in this crazy world of business. Let's do big things together starting today. This is Sarah Allred, your host. Welcome to the podcast. Glad you are here. Who is ready to get started? Who is ready to get started? Okay, I am dying. Barely slept last night, okay? And it had nothing to do with anything crazy except for the fact that I was excited to go live today, okay? And part of it is because my feelings are raw right now. I have been in business for nearly 10 years, right? And I feel like I have rode the waves of business from awesomeness to like total despair. And I'm still in entrepreneurship, which is really saying something, right? So because of that, man, my feelings are really raw right now because quite literally, about 2 weeks and 2 days ago, I was sitting, enjoying my business. I love to teach people about funnels and marketing and becoming profitable, turning hobbies into profits, those kinds of things. I love talking about that. And things had been going well in business. And then the huge pandemic hit. And I thought, oh, good. Sales are holding on. Okay, my audience is still here. Okay, this is working. I'm still able to help people. This is great. I can even balance this with my kids being home all day. I can do this. And then literally, it seemed like the next day, everything came crashing down. Sales disappeared. My time, my ability to spend time at home and work the way that I was normally used to working, the normal had totally changed. Okay. Anybody living that? Has anybody's normal changed in the past 2 weeks and 2 days? Maybe I am the only one experiencing this because absolutely crazy things were happening literally 2 weeks ago. And so because of that, I was in a total panic. And again, the feelings are raw. And that is why I am here right now is I said, what in the world am I going to do? What in the world am I going to do? And the reality is my husband's in healthcare, and you would think those would be the safest jobs on the planet. And no, my husband is getting pay cuts right now, working the same amount of hours, maybe even more hours, weekends, nights, COVID teams, you name it. He is out there front lines and we're getting a paycheck cut. And so things are nuts. So maybe I'm the only one that is experiencing a new norm right now that is not loving it. And I had to figure out what to do. So my first step had to be, first, what am I going to do? Okay. Because all of a sudden, fun business money needed to become bill money, right? And no time had to be productive time for the business. All this stuff had to change. Anybody living it? Oh, I'm loving your comments. Some of you are living this right now. Some of you all across the country, you are living a new norm right now. So here is the priority, okay? The priority has to be, you have to focus on what will move the needle. Okay, that is a business term, right? What does move the needle even mean? What it mean, all move the needle means is it just means that something is going in a positive direction. And we're talking about financially. We are only going to talk about things today that are meant to move the financial needle for you as quickly as possible. Because I was sitting there 2 weeks and 2 days ago. I was sitting right there and I knew that the strategy had to change. Okay, because clearly the original strategy wasn't working anymore, right? If sales are gone and income is gone or whatever that may be, the strategy has to change. If you want something different, you have to do something different. So I dove in and I'm like, well, how am I going to renavigate this? How is this going to happen? And I know because of your comments that you are experiencing this too. So because of this, that is what this masterclass is about, is the actual 3 secrets. 3 secrets that I have implemented in the past 2 weeks and 2 days personally in my business in order to get back consistent revenue. Anybody want that? Give me a yes, I'll take that. Yes, share with me the 3 secrets. I want to know those 3 things because things have changed for me. I want to know in the comments. Tell me, do you want it? Are you guys ready to go? You ready to go for this? Because I am so excited. So because of that, we are going to dive straight into secret number 1. Okay. And this came from a conversation with my business coach. Whenever things go haywire for me and I feel really unclear, the thing that I need to do is I need to talk with my business coach, right? So I call my business coach. Her name is Katie Richardson, the most amazing business coach on the planet. And I said, okay, Katie, what do I do? Okay. She's a business coach. I think she's a clarity coach. Okay. Cause that's what she's awesome at. And she was so amazing. She looked at all my stuff and she was like, so, you need to re-message everything. You need to re-message everything. And I thought, oh, well, why? Like it's been working. And this is when Katie, of course, she brings this incredible stuff to the table. But here is the deal. Things that were working 2 weeks and 2 days ago in $1 million businesses and in small businesses are no longer working. There's a reason that Facebook ads are as cheap as they have ever been historically right now, because things that were working 2 weeks and 2 days ago are no longer producing. So people are not running ads, or they're having to change ads, or they're having to take a break, or whatever that may be. There are signs in the economy that it's no longer working. And it is because of messaging. So when revenue is the priority, we are going to do things that move the needle. Secret number 1 is you have to re-message everything. And the reason that this is the case is because of this. Okay. Ooh, I feel like a weatherman. This is weird. Okay, there we go. Because of this, things have changed since the pandemic. Prior to the pandemic, we were moving mentally towards pleasure. Okay. Economy was doing well. Unemployment generally was doing really, really well. The business world was booming. They call it the fall of business. Okay. Like the season of fall. Okay. Just the beautiful, enjoy the fruits of your labors, so to speak, in the fall, harvesting. It's so great. Everyone was moving towards pleasure, generally speaking. Okay. Since the pandemic came, people's mindsets have changed. My mindset has changed. Your mindset has changed. My client's mindset has changed. Your client's mindsets have changed, because we are now no longer moving towards pleasure. We are trying to move away from pain. Okay. Which is why everything needs to be re-messaged. So for example, business ads 2 weeks and 2 days ago, right, could easily get away with talking about how to make $500 a day using this incredible strategy. You can be a millionaire in the next 90 days, and people would click, people would go, that would resonate, because they were in a mindset of working towards pleasure. Like that was possible. And it was possible 2 weeks and 2 days ago. Those things were catching the mentality and the messaging of those in the business world, self-improvement world, those kinds of things. That is a pleasure kind of ad that you would see. How can I move towards pleasure? Ooh, $500 a day. I can become a millionaire in 90 days. Like how to, if you're in the parenting sphere, that kind of a thing, how to have a rock star relationship with your kid. That is a pleasure ad that you would click on and want to pursue. However, now that the pandemic has happened, we are talking about people who are trying to move away from pain. So instead of telling people that they can become a millionaire, people have no idea how they're going to pay their next mortgage payment. That's a whole different messaging. People have no idea how they're going to sustain a business in an unstable economy. People have no idea how they're going to sell their house in the middle of social distancing. I'm trying to hit a whole lot of different kind of businesses, okay? And that actually will help me guide my conversation. I want you to, again, give permission to StreamYard to publish your comments right above this video, and then comment what kind of a business you're in, and I can tie in some of these examples, okay? So because of that, ads change, messages have to change. Okay. Now I'm not an ad user in my business, but the messaging has got to change. And that is something that Katie Richardson told me of the ways in which we have to pivot. That's the fancy business word. So if you have had sales drop off, and you're like, wait a minute, I know that this website has been converting for me for the past year or for the past 6 months or for the past 4 years. The economy's been great, all this kind of stuff, but it's no longer working. You need a pivot. And the first pivot that needs to happen, you have to meet your people as they are moving away from pain instead of trying to sell the pleasure end of what you do, right? Okay, so fascinating. I don't know your name because I'm looking at it just says Facebook user. You're joining from Facebook. You says, I own a gym. It's such a crummy time to own a gym for people. Oh, absolutely. So what are some of the struggles that people are having that are your normal customers, right? So we're talking about what kind of messaging needs to happen. You obviously have to make some sort of a pivot financially, because if they can't attend your gym, how else can you make money? Okay. Can you make money doing live classes? Can you do doing live master classes about nutrition? Can you do mommy and me yoga online classes that are $6 a ticket? You have to make a decision there what kind of product and offer can be pivoted that way if you're a brick and mortar store. But people mentally, they're not talking about having their awesome summer body. They're talking about how they can maximize 11 minutes of alone time in the morning or in the evening in order to mentally get through this. That's where they're at. They're trying to move away from the pain of total exhaustion, and they're not even thinking about their summer, get fit for summer. They are thinking about their mental health and how they have lost that ability to physically work that kind of stuff out at the gym. So that has to be the messaging. The re-messaging is so critical. And I'm not being critical of anybody here who hasn't changed their messaging, because 2 weeks and 2 days ago, I had not changed my messaging. Then I met with Katie, and Katie says, you've got to message everything to help take people away from pain. I remessaged absolutely everything on my website, and that turned the tide. Just the messaging. And that is just secret number one, to be able to get that messaging out there that takes people away from pain. Okay. So I'm going to comment one more example from someone attending the masterclass live, someone who is a hairdresser. Okay. This is again, another brick and mortar store where people used to say, again, what is the coolest thing out there? I want to have a blowout. I want to have a biolage. I want to have all this kind of stuff here. And right now everybody is praying that everything that they've heard about, every kind of box at home color system, is going to work for them right now. Right. They feel like root touch-ups, like impossible right now because they don't have their girl in store. So how can you message to them and serve them with something that will take them away from pain? They're not loving their roots, or how to care for their hair, or how to care for their hair right now, or at-home remedies, or whatever that could be, to take them away from the pain of them knowing that they can't get their roots touched up by a professional, or they have no idea what to do over the next 3 or 4 months to keep their hair where they want it to be. Does that make sense? You're working in a relationship space as far as hair, right? You're trying to create relationships between them and their self by how they feel, connected to how they look maybe. That is where you need to re-message everything. So get creative. I heard from my mentor just this morning. In fact, I'm going to pull it up so that I read it exactly correctly. Okay. I heard this wonderful, wonderful message from him. And that is why you are here in this masterclass, which is why I'm so thrilled that you're here. He says, waiting for people to come to you is not a strategy. Okay. Woo! Can somebody put that in the comments, please? Okay. Hashtag to Russell Brunson. Okay. Waiting for people to come to you is not a strategy. So example, if your gym is not working and your hope is that everybody is just going to keep their memberships and then come back, that is not a strategy in order to increase your paycheck right now. It's not a strategy. Holding on for dear life is not a strategy, right? Same with being a hairdresser. If people can't come see you, hoping you'll just make it up on the back end of it. It is not a strategy, waiting for people to come to you. We've got to find a way to get to those people and to meet them where they are, away from pain. Okay. They are in pain in some way. I am in pain in some way. You are in pain in some way. Re-message everything. Okay. Deep breath. How many of you know right now that you need to re-message? Moment of silence. Okay. Moment of silence. What are you going to do? How many of you know you need to re-message? Now, some of you may be saying, I'm seeing the comments already, I have no idea what my people are feeling right now. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you asked this, because I even have a slide for this, because I knew that this was going to be a question. If you don't know where your people are, like what are people experiencing right now in the hair industry? Right? People like moms. What are moms or women experiencing? What about workout people? What are they experiencing? Not knowing when their gym is going to open. If you are not sure, or if it feels unclear, guess what? There's this incredible congregation of people, and I call them Facebook groups. Oh yes, I want you to pop in to every single Facebook group that you can find that's about women working out, people working out, okay, gym people, okay, whatever that may be, or people that are following the latest braids or hairstyles or hair coloring or whatever that may be, or fashion bloggers or something like that. Get in those Facebook groups and ask, what has been the hardest thing for you about not having access to your gym? Okay. What scares you the most about coloring your hair at home? What scares you the most about not being able to visit your stylist over the next 3 or 4 months? Ask those questions, find that congregation, and go nuts. They are going to tell you where they are pain-wise, and then you can have all your messaging be centered around how you can serve them in that way. Okay, awesome. You guys are all ready to re-message. This caused a drastic change in the traffic and sales that I was able to produce in just a couple of weeks in my business. Just changing that re-messaging, because we are all coming from a very, very different place. So I know that will work. Get in there after this masterclass is over and re-message as much as you can. Okay, awesome. Hey you, I see you. I know that if you enjoyed this podcast, I know you're serious about growing your business smarter and faster. Elder Bednar encouraged us to flood the earth with our messages of goodness. And look, I just couldn't find a way to get my passion out there without being glued to my phone all day. I could barely tackle an Instagram account, let alone email marketing, YouTube, Facebook, podcasting, blogging, Pinterest. Yikes! Here's the deal. Your business can change lives. That's why you sell what you sell. Let's get your brilliant, life-changing business in front of the millions of people that are already online every day without wasting your time online. This is your starting point. The Content Machine is all of the secrets and all of the strategies that I personally use while I take advantage of all the free online platforms to bring in consistent revenue, growing the business, and reaching people we never knew needed us while not being a slave to our phone. Look, I get it. This is a whole new way of marketing you never thought possible. Get your business seen everywhere online in just 7 days. This machine is helping people right now. Grab the Content Machine, and for a super limited time, bring a buddy for free at sarahgracelive.com/machine.